researching this book, I also came across numerous instances of how lives of ordinary individuals have been impacted by the churn of people and empires in the Indian Ocean. Take, for example, the story of Odakkal Muhammad, who was born on 15th of August 1927 in Mundapalam, now in the state of Kerala. His family claimed descent from Yemeni merchants who had settled here in the 14th century. In 1942, when barely 15, he was thrown out of school for wearing a black badge in protest against the arrest of Mahatma Gandhi. Too scared of being scolded by his father for this, Muhammad decided to run away from home. And he eventually ended up in the Royal Indian Navy as an electrical artificer. The Second World War was raging at that time, and Muhammad saw action on a number of occasions. After the war, he was posted to Bombay, where he would participate in the naval revolt of 1946. When the mutiny was suppressed, he was dismissed from the Navy with a certificate that read, "Discharged in disgrace from His Majesty's service." Muhammad tore up the paper and flung it at the British officer. The following year, India became independent on his 20th birthday. Since the mutineers were never reabsorbed into the Navy, Muhammad decided to try his hand at many jobs before getting involved in protests against Portuguese rule in Goa in 1955. He was arrested by the Portuguese and spent some time in prison before being released. After several more adventures, including cycling across India, he became a tour guide in Agra, where he met and married a Syrian Christian nurse called Mariamma on 15th of August 1964. Decades later, he would return to his village in Kerala, where he was living at the time this book was being written. Sadly, he passed away before the book was published, just a couple of months ago. This extraordinary story was narrated to me by his son, Commodore Odakkal Johnson, as we hunted amidst torrential monsoon rain for an almost forgotten memorial for World War I sailors in Mumbai's old port area. This book is concerned with the past, but the wheels of history roll relentlessly forward. What does the future hold? Even as I was completing this book, there were signs that the Indian Ocean may become the theatre of a new geopolitical rivalry between India and China. Those who remember history will know that the Indian Ocean has seen the likes of Rajendra Chola and Zheng He before. They will also know to expect the unexpected. After all, no one who saw Zheng He's magnificent treasure fleet would have believed that a few decades later a small country in the Iberian Peninsula would open up the Indian Ocean to centuries of European domination. If there is one lesson from all this history, it is this: time devours the greatest of men and the mightiest of empires. Thank you.